1 second. Are you serious? Are you serious? Guys, it is great to have everybody here with us here today. We got a powerful program for you. No doubt about that. We've got some breaking news that's very disturbing. We want to share it with you right now. There's a 95% of the baby food has been tested that contained lead, arsenic, and other toxic metals. What? When I read this, I almost freaked out, but according to CNN, toxic heavy metals damaging to your baby's brain and development are likely in the baby food you are feeding your infants right now, according to a new investigative study that has just been published today. Test of 168 baby foods from major manufacturers in the United States contain, get this, 95% lead, 73% arsenic, 75% palladium, 32% mercury, and 1/4 of the foods contain all 4 heavy metals. When I read this, I freaked out. I lost my mind. I said, "What?" And I decided to get on the phone. Let's get a hold of Ronnie McMullen from GetTheT.com. What in the world do we do now? Ronnie, welcome to the broadcast.
Good to be here. What a terrible bit of information you just reported.
I mean, it really is, Ronnie. I mean, first of all, how long has this been going on? That's got to be your first question. Is this something just recently, a change in the baby food system?
No.
You've already got the answer.
I already got that answer. No. This is just, we got caught with our pants down. What do we do now, Joe? I don't know. Maybe we have to make the baby food cleaner. I don't know. It must be, they said something about killing babies or something. We don't want to be a part of that. We just want to make money.
I mean, Ronnie, look. Everybody raises their children. What do? Dr. Spock told us, you get the baby on the milk, you bring it along with a little cereal, then all of a sudden you go to the baby food. I mean, this is what everybody's been doing for a generation?
Well, they did the same thing with infant formula. They had the same problem, the same old. So it does not surprise me this is going on with the baby food. And I mean, even to the point, if we talk about organic foods, and there's organic baby food, you get it at Sprouts or Whole Foods, and a few at different places. But even if they tested, and they have tested different foods that are organic, they're also compromised as well. So I just wonder, the FDA goes after supplement companies and they beat them up with, you need to have purity and strength and this and that. But you could be feeding baby food with arsenic and mercury and so on and so forth, and aluminum and whatever else is in there. And you can feed babies that, which will make them sicker than a dog. And you can give them vaccines that harm them completely. That's okay. We're not going to go, food FDA is way too busy to go after that, and if I remember right, the F stands for food and Drug Administration, food. So isn't baby food? So I'm really disgusted with what's going on. I mean, this is our children. This is our future. And we're not taking care of, because not everybody has time to go take organic broccoli or cauliflower or carrots, cook them down, and feed them to the baby. I mean, that's the ultimate thing to do, but you have to have time, patience, and most of the time the families have 2 incomes. That means mama works and daddy works, and baby is, probably works as soon as they get old enough. So that's just to make it in this world, because our healthcare is so expensive. It's so expensive to drive a car. It's so expensive to insure, and housing is through the roof. But our economy is good. Don't forget that. So I don't know how it's done, Pastor. I don't.
I mean, when you start thinking about it, Ronnie, on a big picture here, to your point, look, 73% of the baby food manufacturers, the baby food contains arsenic. 75% contains cadmium, and 95% contains lead. Now I started thinking about the Flint, Michigan, and all the lead in the pipes and all of that going on, and how this says it's creating slow brain development, and retardation is on the rise, and all that from this lead in the, lead poisoning to kill you. So
it's toxic.
So do you think they're deliberately just putting little bits of metals in there, a little arsenic, a little this, a little that, and make the kids have to then build up a situation where they got to have the vaccinations? That, if you know what I'm saying, or is this a weakening?
Yeah, but here's the thing though: if vaccinations worked, if in other words, if I got a vaccine for whatever disease or flu or whatever you wanted, and it worked, and they showed me the vaccine of what was in it and how it combats whatever, the flu, the disease, whatever, that would be great. But there's all these other things in a vaccine, and you go, what's this for? I don't know. We just had a big 55-gallon drum. They said, hey, put it in there. So we did. That's what we did. We just followed the rules. We swear to God that's what we did. So this is kind of how it goes. And it's really sad because it's all in the name of money. So I'm hoping they're not putting stuff in there purposely. But one has to wonder, and I know that we throw this over to the conspiracy side when we say it could be a intentional issue, but I have come to find out that they are giving us vaccines for diabetes. I mean, when I say for it, meaning giving you diabetes, giving you type 2 diabetes. So when you uncover that, you kind of question everything. Or when you uncover that they're putting purposely chemicals, some of the same chemicals that you're finding in that baby food, in the air, purposely. So, when you find truths with evidence that they're doing these things, then when you come along with an article like this that says baby food has this, 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 and this, one has to tend to think it is intentional. The same thing with the formula for the babies. And because and somebody said, well, that's just too evil. Well, these people have no soul. So their soul runs on money. So if you get the baby sick, not kill them, and they probably have the perfect amount of product that they put into the baby food to poison the baby food, but not poison like a baby to death, just make them sick. And that's really the key. Get everybody sick. And if everybody's sick, they go to the urgent care, they go to the emergency, and the charges. This is why most of the people in college, there's no creative skills. It's all about going to be a nurse or a doctor. So that's the new fad. Work for the healthcare industry. It's sad, and it's going to bring I think it's going to bring our nation to a very hard closing very soon.
It says here in the report also that 1 in 5 baby foods tested had over 10 times the limit of lead endorsed by the public health advocates, although experts agree that no level of lead is safe. The results mimic a previous study by the Food and Drug Organization that found 1 or more of the same metals in 33 of 39 different types of baby food tested. Foods with the highest risk for the neurotoxic harm were rice-based products, sweet potatoes, and fruit juices. I just don't understand why there's any lead in there at all.
Here's something to understand. So they have all this toxic stuff. You're reading it. It's evidence. It's truth, right?
Right.
Why is there not a recall and they're pulling this off the shelf? Notice that you're not reading, unless there's more to it, and maybe you can find more here. But so far, the information has not said a major recall to pull this off the shelf so that babies are not infected with this. They're just making a statement. By the way, our baby food, it's got toxins in it, lots of them. Make your baby really sick. But are we going to pull it off the shelf? No, sirree, Bob. We ain't pulling it off the shelf. And you know what I'm saying? So that would be the question I have is why is the FDA not saying, hey, pull this? This is dangerous for babies.
Yeah, I'm reading the whole article. There is no recall on any of the baby food. And there's just...
So we have to drop dead. We have to drop dead is what I'm understanding then from the evidence that we're reporting here. That we have to drop dead, or the babies have to drop dead before they're going to pull the food. Other than that, if you're real sick, that's okay.
Yeah, and I think that now let me ask a question: is the FDA harder on food on supplements on your products, or in the type of products with vitamins and what have you? Is there a tougher scrutiny from the FDA on you guys and what you can say? Could you get away with arsenic, lead, and toxic metals?
Now, we have talked since you're a minister about the cross.
Yeah,
I would be on the cross.
You'd be
they would
crucified.
Be flogging me. So I don't know what they're going to do for this. Obviously, no one's really taking it serious
because 21?
They're not pulling it.
Is this Agenda 21, Ronnie? I mean, are we talking about?
Could be. It very well could be. It could be agenda death. I don't know. I mean, and I'm not trying to be funny here. This is actually a very serious thing. I'm
shocked.
Sometimes you have to make a little bit of light because it's so bad. And to me, again, when we see this evidence and we're not seeing anything being pulled off the shelf, and how many of the companies is got something, at least 3 or 4 of these? It's like 7. Didn't you say 70?
33 out of 39 companies. 95% of the total baby food in the world. Okay, so it's 33 out of 39 companies, but it's 95% of the food on the shelf contains lead, arsenic, or other toxic metals.
And you wonder what the other 6 companies are. Not that it's going to state that, but you wonder what the other 6 companies, who they are that have clean food, because that would be an interesting thing as well. But I again don't understand with this kind of evidence based, and this many companies being involved in a dirty food. That's what I'd call it. A toxic food. That's what I'd call it. A poisonous food. That's what I'd call it. Why we are not pulling it off the shelf. Why we're not saying, hey, E. coli in meat, they pull it.
Right.
So why are they not pulling the baby food with arsenic and these other, and lead and mercury? I mean, they're telling us about the mercury in tuna fish. Don't eat tuna fish. Don't eat canned tuna fish. Okay, that's fine. But that's okay if it's in the baby food. We're okay with that.
There is a report now. Action needed, according to the report. Urgent action is needed by major baby food companies and the FDA. According to the report, while the FDA is investigating how to reduce the exposure of some levels of arsenic in the rice and the juices and to make them lower, they're still not recommending pulling the baby food off the shelf.
What now? Here, let's talk about that for a second. So they're not pulling the baby food.
No.
And the FDA is involved.
Yes.
So you wonder, I'm not saying this is a fact, I'm saying this, you just wonder, if somebody puts some money in somebody else's hand. Don't pull our baby food, because if you pull our baby food, I mean, if you're selling X amount of products and somebody comes along and says, pull all your products out of all of your stores, I mean, that's kind of hurtful. I mean, financially, that's going to be ouch.
Right.
So maybe they go to somebody and say, if you can just not pull it, we'll try to change our ways. We'll be good little boys and girls. Just don't pull it. And because we really want to heighten the fact that we don't want you to pull it, there's a little money over here, and we don't know whose it is.
All right, folks. Ronnie McMullen's with us, getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. You can always call if you want to get information or if you would like to get an order from Ronnie. Sounds like we're going to need a lot of cleansing. His phone number is 928-308-0408. Again, that's 928-308-0408. Ronnie McMullen, getthetea.com. Ronnie, we can't feed the babies the baby food. Okay, forget it. You can't. Okay, but what can we do now? Is there anything we can do? Is there some good products you have to help us in detoxing our body from some of these things like lead and arsenic and those type of metals that are in the food?
Absolutely. My tea is, the tea that makes you go. Anything that makes you go. And we have the D365 finally came back. Woohoo! Yay! So those of you that go, hey, I don't want to go make tea because I'm too tired. You can take a pill. It's great. D365 is back. And there's actually more pills in the bottle so it's less money now. So I try so hard to get people going. But long and short of it, anything that's detoxing you is going to clean stuff out. Is it going to clean you out 100%? Probably not, but it's going to take the majority out. So are you going to feel better? And when you're detoxing, you don't always feel good. Now, here's something I haven't said on the shows, and I think I've been with Pastor Paul for years.
Yeah.
I want to throw this your way for some of you that have grandkids and kids and whatever. The kids can take the tea. You don't have to be an adult to take the tea. Just so when you're talking about infants, you're talking about like a little sip. You're not talking about, a glassful or whatever. And when you're talking about little tigers, anywhere between 5 and 10 years old, you're talking about, 2 to 4 ounces, because it's going to make them go. But it will keep them clean so their little bodies can do their growing that they're supposed to be doing. Because think about this, baby food with arsenic and lead and mercury and all the other good fun things that are in there, that's going to clog up and break down. And I've said this on so many shows, including my own YouTube channel. I've said this so many times that when your immune system is down, okay, just think of immune as shields. When your immune is up, shields up. Okay?
Yep.
When immune is down, shields down. When you are going, and we're getting ready, so I've got a great special for you today,
right.
But we're getting ready to go into flu season, cold season, and of course the CDC is scaring us with, people are going to die, it's going to be bad. Well, if your shields are down, it's probably true.
Yeah.
Because they're putting stuff in the air. But if your shields are up, it's no big deal, no big whoop. Well, the same thing with our kids. We're going to sit there and take our products, but we're not going to give anything to our kids. And it's not because you don't want to. It's because you don't know. So you can give a little bit of tea to, and this is good for when they get stuff, when, keeping their shields up. And the special we're going to have is all about shields up. So just think about shields up or shields down. If you eat a piece of cake and have big ice cream on it, and you had a bunch of simple carbs for dinner, shields down. But if you had a good salad and some broccoli, and you kind of lessened your meat, and maybe you had chicken or fish, shields up. And that's how you have to think about it. So if you're going to go into a dark area, which we'll call the dark area disease, if you're going to go in the dark area, do you want to have shields up or do you want to have shields down? Because if you have shields down, you're going to get a disease, you're going to get sick, and maybe you're going to catch a disease that you can't get rid of. And that's the scary point. So then you have to go to all of the stuff that they post on TV. Oh, do you have this? Do you get up and walk around every day? Because you might have this disease if you do. And they make it scary. So if we have our shields up and we're doing what we can do to keep our shields up, eating right. I mean, everybody wants a piece of cake or ice cream once in a while. I get it. No problem. But when you're doing it every single night, when you're having simple carbs every single night, when you're doing no vegetables, no greens, no salads every single night, that's going to catch up with you and bring your shields down. Because 70% of the grocery store is full of GMOs.
Oh.
There are some of the companies that say GMO free or they'll say organic and they're still tainted. So we have to know that we are in a battleground right now and it's for our life. And if we're supposed to do good things for other people, aren't you supposed to be alive to do it? So we have to think about shields up, shields down. Immune system needs to be up. And there are some boosters. I have things at my little store online that will boost your shields and get your shields up.
Tell us
and if
what
you
those
think
are.
about it that way, life's going to be good.
Tell us what those are, Ronnie. What do we got to do to build up the shields? Elevate us.
3 shields. 3
Okay.
shields that are major shields, because almost all my stuff bring the shields up a little bit. But there's 3 majors, because not everybody has a ton of money. Number 1, the tea. That's going to take all the garbage out of you, so that's going to bring your shields up. Because if there's no garbage in you, then good stuff's in you. Your good flora and your good gut flora. So the gut is where all the disease is coming from. You deal with the gut, you're going to deal with your diseases, okay?
All right.
And this all the way to the big C, where people are suffering from the big C, and they're going, oh, I got to get this, and If you clean your gut, you're going to start seeing some different remarkable things. So anyway, so the tea is going to clean, so that's good. So now let's talk about building our shields. So your shields got wrecked, okay? So we cleaned up the shields. They're wrecked. The tea cleaned them up. Okay, so we're kind of new, but we see there's holes in our shields, man. We got shot up. Okay.
All right.
That's where you go to colostrum. Colostrum helps your shields.
Yes.
Okay. Builds your shields. So you got holes in your shields. It fills in the holes like a welder in there.
Okay.
Okay. And then the other thing, which it's going to be a great day for you guys, Allison Advanced is a huge shield builder. So this now strengthens the shields you have, makes it stronger. And a lot of people that take Allison Advanced don't see any negatives when it comes to the disease season of colds and flus.
Okay.
They kind of scream right by. Now, I'm not saying you'll never get sick, because that would never be a truth. But maybe everybody's getting sick and they're down for a month or 2 weeks, and you're taking your Allison Advanced and you still get sick, but you're only down for 2 days.
Okay.
So anytime your shields are up, you aren't going to get sick. But anytime your shields are down, so we can blame this or blame that, but the blaming is a cheap way to get out of doing something. Just concentrate on your shields and say, what can I take? Like, for instance, we carry spirulina. Oh, my goodness gracious. That is a wonderful shields up product. And there's so many more. But if you're just staying, like you're going, hey, my finances are a little limited. I call it the big three. That's always on sale, the sale thing. And that's colostrum, tea, and Allison Advanced. But I'm going to make it really easy for you today. I'll just go ahead and throw the special out there.
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
So
That's what we want.
if you mention Pastor Paul, okay, in the coupon code, hit apply, you got to spend $60 in products. You can buy whatever you want, okay? It doesn't matter. You want to buy tea, you want to buy Allison, you want whatever. It doesn't matter. But you got to spend $60, okay? And that's without shipping. You got to spend $60. I'm going to give you, notice the word give, I'm going to give you a bottle of Allison Advanced 2-month supply for free.
Wow! So it's a bottle.
It's a bottle, and it's a pill.
Yeah.
And it's easy. You take one a day. So if your shields are really crappy and you just been beat up and you just been sick and you're just like, I can't catch up with it. Take 2 a day for the first 30 days. And it won't hurt you.
It rebuilds the immune. I mean, it raises that shield, right? That raises that shield.
It raises the shield, strengthens your shields, and here's the thing: you're spending $60. If you went to go buy my Allison Advanced, it's $62. So you're actually getting a bigger gift than you're spending.
What? So if you
you're spending whatever you want. So you can buy colostrum, you can buy the big three, you can buy just tea, whatever, but you got to spend $60, and I'm going to send you $62 bottle of Allison Advanced 2-month supply for free.
Folks, pick up the phone right now, guys, and call this number. And call it tonight. Call it tomorrow. 928-308-0408. Listen to this. So you're going to, if somebody spends $60, not counting shipping now, $60 on products, it could be, all of it could be get the tea. I mean, it could be get the tea, colostrum, Allison, or it could be other stuff. You've got GI Joy here. I've got a bottle of this here. I've got a bottle of pine bark extracts. Okay,
that's a beautiful thing.
He's got the olive leaf, and he's got all this other great stuff. Spend $60, folks, and he's going to send you a $62 bottle of Allison Advanced, which is 2 months supply, which is really big in building your immune system.
It's one of the best things on the website. I have 3 things on the website that are like home run hitters. If you were on a baseball game, this is home runs. And that is the tea, colostrum, and Allison Advanced.
There's some questions popping up right now because we're live and I can see them today.
Yeah.
One says, can you take this with medications?
Oh, very, very good question. Let's talk about the tea first on the medication.
All right.
You can take the tea. It's got to be 2 hours before or after you take your medication, because the tea sees your medication as an invader, and it will take it out. Okay, so that kind of tells you something about medication.
So the tea is for flushing your system. So you should probably take that before, a couple hours before you take your medicine.
Or a couple hours after, and you're fine. Okay. Colostrum, you're good to go. You can take it any time with your medicine. Okay. And then with Allison Advanced, I would do the 2 hour thing again. Now, here, let me tell you about this. Okay, very important, very important.
Okay.
If you have blood pressure issues, okay, and you take blood pressure medicine, you need to get with the doctor, and because my product will do good things, okay? So you can't take both very long because it'll bring your blood pressure too low. My product, and I can't tell you what my product does, but you can kind of read between the lines. So make sure that you very much monitor your blood pressure if you're on blood pressure meds and you're taking Allison.
Okay, so
because let me put it this way: my brother-in-law was on blood pressure meds. In fact, I had another host that was on blood pressure meds. Took Allison Advanced. They are totally normal. So that can kind of tell you what's going on. And if you take blood pressure meds, it'll lower you below what you should be.
So if you're taking blood pressure medicine and Allison, be aware and recognize the fact that Allison is a natural reducer of blood pressure naturally. And
I can't say that.
No, you didn't say that, but I'm going to say I'm going to throw that out there. It's my observation that it appears to be. I'm going to say it that way. And if that's the case, and then you're kind of double dipping. But we're not saying, folks, to go off your medication. We're not saying it.
No. You get with your doctor, right, and so on and so forth. But also realize this is just one thing the Allison does. This is not, oh, well, I have normal blood pressure, so I don't need this. Oh, no.
No.
This is a garlic extract, and let me tell you something. It is like a powerhouse home run.
Oh, garlic's good for you, isn't it?
Oh, it's really good for you. Stomach issues, it deals with all kinds of stomach issues. It deals with your shields, gets your shields up, your immunities. I mean, I can go on and on. And other things in your blood. Let's talk about triglycerides. Let's talk about cholesterol. These are things that are beautiful.
Yes. Allison helps that.
Allison Advanced. And you can't go wrong. So you go, wow, I really like this stuff. I take it all the time. And so I'm going to go buy an Allison for $62. You going to give me an Allison? Yep. So you'd have 2 bottles for the price of one.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice move. So it's all about spending $60. If you spend $60, folks, with Ronnie, he's going to send you a free bottle of Allison Advanced, which is worth $62, and that's a 2-month supply, and that's really a great deal.
And here's the deal. I can't keep this open forever, so it's only good till midnight on the 25th.
What?
So you got a few days. But I can't keep this open forever. I'll go broke.
4 days is all you're giving us, Ronnie. 4 days. So
you got to do it.
You got to use the coupon. Paul Begley or just Paul?
I think it's Paul.
Okay,
I think it's Paul.
I think it is too. So just
or Pastor Paul, but I think it's Paul.
It's right on there, folks, and you can type it right in there when you go there. Go to the website. It's www.getthetea.com. That's www.getthetea.com. Or pick up the phone and call in the orders and use my name. Get this savings. 928-308-0408. Isn't it great? Ronnie McMullen. Hey, is there anything? I mean, Ronnie, we got to be a little careful here. Babies are eating the baby food. I can feel mothers out there stressing out over all this lead and arsenic and stuff. Is there something you got that we can give a little bit to the babies? A little tea?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. So formula is most of the time is tainted. Breast milk is obviously the best for babies. That's like the kick. That's the home run again. But some women can't breastfeed, or some women, they can't bring enough breast milk. This is where the colostrum goes in. So you want to feed them a little bit of colostrum, not a lot of colostrum, because it's a bovine. So you want to make a little bit of colostrum, and the colostrum will do the baby a great thing. So that will bring the immunities up on the baby. And just so you know, and here's something I don't know if women know, they should know this, but if your immunities are down as a mother, then your baby's immunities will go down. So the baby's going to be first. So when the baby's immunities start coming up, then the mother's immunities starts coming up. So make sure you as a mother have great shields, because if you do, it goes right into the baby. So if you're taking the colostrum or you're taking the Allison Advanced and you just feed the baby your breast milk, life is good. That baby's going to get the best of the best because they're getting mother's milk.
Right. That's got to be the best for the immune system.
That is the best. But let's say you can't breastfeed for whatever reasons, and believe it or not, there's a lot of women that can't. Then a little bit of colostrum. And tea, it would be, with infants, I would say no. wait till they're a couple years old and then give them sips or little spoonfuls or that kind of thing. But infants, I would say no on that. But again, the colostrum would be wonderful for babies, really wonderful, and real small amounts.
I mean, I'm just frustrated, Rodney, right now. I'm really angry about all this lead and arsenic in the baby food. I can't believe that the FDA hasn't pulled all baby food off the shelf, but I know what it is.
Yep.
The amount of money that would be so enormous, and you would just cripple some of those companies. But
and it's a pain in the butt, and they got to pull it off the shelf and put it in boxes and blah. And we don't want that problem. So Joe,
you know what my mother
wife
fed
out
me?
to Hawaii. It's
my
good.
Mother, I was born in 1961. My mother just used the food from the garden, vegetables in a blender, and she would blend the green beans or she'd blend the carrots and mashed potatoes, and she fed me right off the garden food. And look at how sharp my brain is.
That's the way to go. But the kicker is now we can't even grow, and people know this, and they're going to go, People can't even grow good gardens now because all the stuff in the air and the water.
Yeah, GMO.
I haven't had a real tomato in probably 10 years.
That's sad.
I mean, a real tomato. The juicy with the seeds and the juice and the sweet.
Yes. My wife.
I remember them.
My wife raised them this year in her garden. She raised all organic peppers and eggplants and tomatoes and that. And yes, the seeds were right in the little tomatoes. But I'm getting ready to go to Israel, folks. I'm getting ready to go to Israel, Ronnie, and everything. There's no GMOs there in Israel for the next 17 days or whatever I'm going to be there. I'm just going to do nothing but eat all this wonderful food because there's no GMOs.
That's great.
But
and that tells you something right there.
Yeah.
So you go to Israel and there's no GMOs. Wonder why that is? Because they said no. Monsanto, see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
Wouldn't want to be ya. And you know what? We could have done the same thing in America. We should have.
Yeah, but we won't. We won't because Missouri is the land of Monsanto. So we're nobody's going to. That's what I'm saying. It's ugly. And if you look up lawsuits against Monsanto, it's over the top. I mean, it's crazy. It's thousands and thousands, and people are winning millions. So I'm hoping someday maybe Monsanto will be broke, but I don't know. They're all a part of big conglomerates.
Unbelievable. Folks, again, Ronnie McMullen's with us. Go to getthetea.com. That's www.getthetea.com. Use that promo code Paul or Pastor Paul. Pick up the phone. Call the number 928-308-0408. Isn't it great? Look what he's doing. Buy $60 worth of stuff. He'll throw in a free bottle, a $62 bottle of Allison Advance, which, of course, is 2 months' supply. This is a beautiful deal. Ronnie is really reaching out to us all and helping us get healthy, wealthy, and wise, hopefully. Ronnie?
Wait till you start taking that pill and you see what happens. I mean, it's... that's the thing is when you carry good products, when you start taking them, you go, wow, I feel different. I feel good. I mean, that's really the case. So try this stuff out. And don't forget, guys, you can't dilly-dally around. You've got it till the 25th, midnight on the 25th.
Midnight, I guess that's Friday night, okay? Midnight Friday night. Guys, get the order in. Ronnie, thank you, as always, for coming on the show, being with us. It's always good information, and it helps us. So we really appreciate what you do at your company.
And we tell bad things in a good way. No, we have a great show, and we get people informed, and I think it's a good thing. It's really a good thing, because if we are knowledgeable about what's going on, then we can change this world.
Amen to that. Praise God. Because without information... Well, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And so
exactly.
Thank you, Ronnie. God bless, Ronnie. Again, www.getthetea.com. That's www.getthetea.com. It's the best tea. Tastes great, too. And I'll tell you that right now. And or pick up the phone and call Ronnie at 928-308-0408. Ronnie, thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much.
All right. God bless. I'll see you guys later tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern on Prime.